Or afternoon now.
Afternoon.
Hello. Hi, Dr. McCrae.
Hello, how are you, Christy?
I'm gonna turn on. There we go. I'm gonna turn on my video. I'm doing great. I see that we have some guests with us. Hello, Dr. Overbay. And we're going to get started, Dr. McCrae, in a minute or so. We're going to see if some other participants want to join. For those that are joining that are interested in learning more about the admissions process for healthcare administration, I will send you a chat and ask you for your name, email, and a phone number so that following Dr. McCrae's presentation, we can send you relevant information about cost and admissions requirements, etc. So if you just respond to that so that we can get you the materials that you need. And for all participants, if you would mute your microphones so Dr. McCrae won't have any feedback. And then we can allow time for questions at the end, if that's okay with you, Dr. McCrae.
That works fine.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go on mute myself, and you can get started when you're ready.
Okay, thank you. So as Christy said, I am Sherry McCrae. I'm Program Coordinator for the Healthcare Administration Program here at King University. And before I go any further, let's just take a quick minute and let everyone introduce themselves so we can see who is on with us. I'll start with you, Christy, if you just want to name and role.
Absolutely, thank you. My name is Christy Reynolds, and I work for the admissions team at the Knoxville campus. And so my role is to educate, inform, and help students through application and becoming a student at King University.
Thank you. Dr. Overbay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark Overbay. I'm the Dean of the School of Health and Professional Sciences. The Healthcare Administration program is one of the programs I serve, and my job is to support every student that's enrolled at King.
Thank you. Dr. Knight.
Hello, everyone. My name is Margaret Knight. I am teaching in the Healthcare Administration program and have been for a little while now. I'm based at the Knoxville campus, so if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to contact me.
Thank you. And next, Emily Abrams. Thank you for being here. Let's see. We can't hear you. Can anyone else hear Emily? Okay. We still can't hear you, but I'll let you work on that. But let me introduce Emily. Emily is a past graduate of this program. She was one of the first students who attended in Knoxville and graduated maybe 5 years or so ago. So
Can you hear me yet?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay, good. Yes,
Great.
I'm a 2014 graduate of the program. So I'm just kind of
Wonderful.
here if any of the potential students have questions.
Wonderful, thank you. And Emily's background is in respiratory therapy, correct?
Yes, and I'm now the Director of Clinical Education for a respiratory care program at Southeast Kentucky College.
Great, thanks again for being here.
No problem,
Okay.
Pleasure.
Jason. Jason Fowler, can you hear me? Oh, let's see.
Hey, Sherry, I made it.
Okay, great, Chris. We'll come back to Jason. I'll work on that sound. Angel.
Hi.
Angel, do you want to introduce yourself? Okay. All right. What about Jay Sullivan?
Hello, my name is Jerry Sullivan. I work in admissions at King University in Knoxville with Christy. I do not have video, so you just get to hear my voice.
That's fine. All right, Lauren.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lauren Chesney, and I am an enrollment counselor at King University, working in Knoxville.
All right, Mona.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mona Salyer with the Enrollment Management Office in the Tri-Cities, working with students just like Christy. And so any questions, you can contact me. Thank you.
Thanks. Chris. You're still on mute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I'm Chris in Bristol. I currently work as a nurse for Encompass Health at Quillen Rehab in Johnson City.
Good stuff.
I'm gonna get some.
I like the big bottles.
All right. Thank you. Can you, there we go. Who have I missed? Amanda Schaefer. Well, let me just do this. If I've missed anybody, can you pop on and introduce yourself just so we have an idea of who all is here?
Sherry, this is Nancy Beverly. I'm with the AGS Tri-Cities team, and I cover as a territory manager and enrollment counselor from Johnson City, Washington County through Hamlin County.
Okay. Anybody else I've missed? All right, and I see some other names there, so hopefully you all are prospective students, which is the point in us meeting today, is to give you some more information on the Healthcare Administration program here at King. A bit of the history on the program. We started in the fall of 2012, and we have had to date 232 graduates, so hopefully some of you will be in that number in the near future. And I want to tell you a little bit about some of the careers that past students have progressed into. Many of our students start out as allied health professionals. Some have no healthcare background. So students come from a wide variety of places with past experiences and histories. So this program is a very versatile fit for just about any background. You, again, don't have to have a healthcare background to become a student in this program. But some of the careers that have progressed from our past students include being promoted to a supervisor in each department that students have come from. Like Emily, who is now teaching, she went from her role as a respiratory therapist into teaching, and we've had several other students become teachers in their respective specialties. I can think of one at Northeast State. Some others are in medical sales. Some have started in retail sales and wound up as medical office managers. So again, you can see how that healthcare background is not necessary. Or if you have a healthcare background or allied health background, that also gives you that to promote to a supervisor management leadership role within your healthcare organization. A bit about the courses offered in the program. There are 12 courses in the major, and some of those include Intro to Healthcare Policy, Epidemiology, Population-Based Health. There's a course in Informatics, Quality Management for Healthcare, Research and Evidence-Based Practice. There's a course on Communication, one on Management and Leadership, a course on Human Resource Management, one on Ethics and Legal Issues, a course on Healthcare Marketing, and one on Healthcare Finance. So as you can see, in a short amount of time, this program touches on many facets of healthcare, and those are the subjects that you need to begin your healthcare career or continue it as soon as you graduate. And I've had countless students come back and tell me that what we discussed in class, they use the very next day in their workplace. So these are the concepts that I know healthcare administrators need to use on a day-to-day basis. I often sum this program up as everything that I wished I had known when I became a director of a department in a hospital. So again, I know that this is useful information. Each of the courses lasts 5 weeks, one at a time, total of 12 courses, 16 months. So as a student, you only have to think about one course at a time. You don't have 3 running concurrently. 5 weeks in one, that one's over, and you start another one in 5 weeks. 3 each semester. The classes are taught face-to-face at the Kingsport campus and at the Knoxville campus, as well as online. And we have online sections that run concurrently with both face-to-face programs. So if your schedule changes, your family needs change, you have to move, we have a plan B to keep you in the program and move seamlessly to the end. Another interesting thing about the program is we certainly get what it takes to be an adult learner. Most students in the program are adults. They have full-time jobs, families, parents they're caring for, busy lifestyles. So we get that as professors, and we work around that and try our best to accommodate those needs that arise. Another thing about the program is not only are you going to learn healthcare administration concepts, but you're also going to learn so much about yourself as a person. You're going to grow professionally as well as personally. Some of the changes that students tell me they go through are just remarkable. So once you're in there, you can see that for yourself, and I'm sure that Emily would attest to that, how you grew personally as well as professionally. Our faculty, we have 2 full-time faculty, myself and Dr. Knight, who is on with us. And she and I work very closely together to make sure that the courses, your education are delivered, again, seamlessly. We're usually on the exact same page with things, communicate frequently if there are any issues that arise so that we can work with you to solve any problems together. So she and I are both here to make sure that you get through the program and successfully graduate, along with all of the support people you see who have joined us today. So as prospective students, current students, and past students, you have a team of individuals who are going to be there with you from beginning to end to help you each step of the way. So I will stop there. That's a quick overview of a lot of things, and see if there's anything that anyone else from King would like to add, or if any of you as prospective students have any questions about anything that I touched on. Or if Emily would like to add to what I said. Chris has his hand up. So you want to unmute, Chris?
Yeah, I just had a quick question about how much time, working a full-time job, how much time do I need to dedicate weekly to completing assignments?
That is a great question. And that may vary course to course. Some of the courses that I named are much more work intensive than others, and that can vary a little bit. Some of the typical assignments, and Dr. Knight can agree or add to that here in a moment, but basically each week, if you're doing face-to-face, the courses are 4 weeks in the classroom face-to-face. So you've got that time to set aside. If you're online, where that time is taking up is by doing 2 discussion boards each week. So those kind of offset. There's also a weekly assignment in most classes, which is usually an approximate 3-page paper on the topic that we discussed. In addition, you have a textbook, obviously, that will cover anywhere from 2 to 4 chapters on average each week, so you'll have to set aside some time to read those. Most courses have a weekly quiz with approximately 20 questions or so, and then each course has a long-term assignment, which is a more lengthy paper or a group project. So I would say, on average, maybe 10 to 20 hours, depending on what is going on in which class. Would you agree with that, Dr. Knight?
Actually, yes, I would. I've been taking a look at the weekly LTA reports my students have been turning in. I would say that each week they spend about 2 hours on the weekly LTA activity. However, that means that last week when people would normally have started working on their LTA, they don't have to put in all those hours in 1 week. So it spreads that effort out. And I think everything else that you said is pretty much right on with what my students experience as well. So,
yeah, I think 20 hours would be maybe extreme. And that would be for some of the tougher subjects. Epidemiology and research and ethics are probably the 3 courses that require the most amount of time. The communication course is kind of a breather course thrown in there. It's not as work intensive, so that kind of gives you a break. In addition to breaks, there are, in spring semester, you have a week off for spring break, summer a week off for the 4th of July week, and then there is usually a fall break built in, and then over Christmas you have 4 to 5 weeks of a break there too, so that helps a lot. But it is intense. These are 4 semester hour courses condensed into 5 weeks, so it is rigorous, it is intense, but it's certainly doable. And again, if you have something that comes up that week, if family issues, work issues, just talk to your professor. Let us know what's going on. If we plan ahead of time, I know that Dr. Knight and I both have never turned down the need for an extension if you have personal circumstances that you need that. So just communicate and ask, and we are here to get you through that. That's a great question. Did that answer your question, Chris?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay. Do any other students have questions? Prospective students, current students? Emily, would you like to add anything?
Sure. I think for me, coming back from a 10-year hiatus, completing my AAS and thinking about doing the BS program, King was the best option, hands down. Everybody was awesome to work with. In the 5 weeks, it's one and done. And as a full-time respiratory therapist, mom, wife, it was easier, I think, than trying to run 3 concurrent classes when you think about traditional coursework, trying to get it done. And everybody was always so helpful. I actually did mine online in person at Hardin Valley because I just felt like 10-year hiatus, I wasn't ready for online learning for me. But I have enjoyed it and used it, and I'm a huge proponent of the program. Like, I'm constantly like, you should look at King, you should look at King, because it works for the adult learner going back as far as like trying to complete a lot of other courses over again and working with them. So I try to send you guys students. I just can't say enough about the program.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that, and I really appreciate you being here. It's so great to hear another student's perspective, and I'm sure Emily can attest to how quickly those 16 months go by.
Fly by. They do.
And
It moves fast. You never get bored.
Yeah. Dr. McCray, we have a prospective student online with us right now, and his name is Michael, and he asked about internships. Would you or Dr. Knight be able to maybe just share a little bit about how King University and our faculty as mentors are also connecting students to jobs and opportunities to grow professionally?
Yes, there's 2 things in that I want to speak to. First, I'll talk a little bit about our part-time faculty who work in healthcare organizations. We've had the CEO of an area hospital teach a class before. The CFO has taught the finance class for us. So these are professors who are in the hospitals, other healthcare organizations on a day-to-day basis. So not only can they teach students what I know they need to know, but it's a great networking opportunity. The CEO of that hospital actually got one of our past students. She was not happy with her current job. He said, come work for us. He set everything up, and she worked there for the rest of her time in the program and is now has been promoted since then. So you just never know those networking opportunities that are going to lead you on a great career path. As far as internships, that's something that we are working on starting this fall. It will be a new elective for the program that will help pair students with mentors as well as give them college credit while they do it. So that's still in the works, but it's certainly something that's coming sooner versus later. And I'm happy to talk to any student who may want to do an internship and give them some more specific information on that. Did that answer that question?
I believe so. And one thing, Dr. McRae, that I have found in my professional experience with you is you and Dr. Knight, as lead faculty, are always accessible. Would you be willing at this time to share for our guests your email or contact information in case they want to reach back out to you directly with questions?
Absolutely. My email is smcrae@king.edu. That's smcrae@king.edu. Actually, there's an L in there. I'm sorry. slmcrae@king.edu.
Thank you. And everyone, Dr. Knight has shared her email address on the chat box. And so that way you'll be able to see that as well. And if you are interested in the recording of this presentation, if you will just in your chat send me your contact information, I'll make sure that I share that. And for our current students and graduates, I'll also send you the link to this video so that you can share with your colleagues, your friends, anybody that you know as a prospective student. We would love to be able to share this information with as many people as possible.
Thank you. And I typed my email into the chat box so that everyone can see it. And also my cell phone number is 423-646-4142. And I'm happy to talk to anyone at any time. You can call me, text me, email me, or if you want to set up a meeting, we can talk one-on-one, face-to-face, or we can do it via Zoom. So yes, Dr. Knight and I, and we remain this accessible throughout the 16 months that you're in the program. One example that Dr. Knight, she has a student in her current class who just had a baby. So that's one of those big life hurdles that can happen during that 16 months. So instead of that student having to drop out or postpone, she's worked with her to make sure that she's gotten all of the information. She's let her complete some of her modules online, and then to catch her up, Dr. Knight is going to meet with her next week and do a 2-hour one-on-one to make sure that she understands those tougher concepts in the epidemiology course. So that's just a great example of how we go above and beyond to accommodate those personal issues that may arise. And thank you, Dr. Knight, for doing that. Great. Angel said that she got her mic working now. Is there anything that you need to ask Angel?
Not at the moment. I may think of questions later and email one of you.
Okay, great. We will be here for you. And Jason just got his mic working. Is there anything that you would like to add?
I don't think Jason's mic is working, actually. I've been chatting with him.
Okay.
And so we do have a guest that's on with us now that I sent a message to Maddie. And I'm not sure if Maddie is a current student or a prospective student, but hopefully I'll be able to connect with her as well. Jason does not have a microphone on his computer. But
Dr. Overbay, would you like to add anything that I may have skipped over?
Well, my experience teaches me, and this addresses Chris's original question, and welcome, Chris, to this discussion, is that the first class that you take, the first course that you take, often is associated with a lot of angst. How hard is this going to be? How much am I going to work? and a lot more labor intensive than the courses to come. Of course, because we are on a type of schedule that allows students to enter at a variety of times, it isn't always able to easily predict exactly which class you'll fall first into, but all these courses are integrated in a way that it doesn't really matter where you start. So your first course is going to be one that helps you ease into the system, and once you establish a pattern, the study habits become easier. Some people come with backgrounds that help them to be more familiar with things like public health and epidemiology. And so if you compare two students' experience with one class, you may get wildly different opinions about how much time and effort is necessary to be in that. I will have to say that I think Dr. McCray did a good job in helping you all to understand the quality of instruction, but I'll have to add my 2 cents here. The people that will be in front of you in the classroom are exceptional professionals in and outside of the classroom. They bring years of experience. Oftentimes, they come right off the job in a hospital or a clinic setting into the classroom and bring to you information and opportunities that you can apply if you're in the healthcare sector that very next day. And much of what happens with this program is how much you put into it yourself. So if you are unfamiliar with healthcare in general, you'll take a very different approach perhaps than someone who has a long history of healthcare, but we are able to easily accommodate both of those 2 extremes.
Thank you. Dr. Knight, would you like to add anything?
Well, I would just really like to add a couple of personal things. One of which is that, I do have a lot of years of working in healthcare, but during that time, I was actually one of the people who became an adult learner. So a lot of what the students are going through, I have been through myself, and I really get it. I mean, I really do understand, that it may be overwhelming to take 10 years off and then go back to school. It might be something where you have some kind of personal thing that's going on, such as my student who just had a baby, and we're having some trouble getting her back into the classroom. But that doesn't mean that she should be left out. So I really do understand all of those stressors, and I take that knowledge in there. The other thing is that not being someone who's been a professor my whole life, I have a really strong belief in sharing my personal experience working in healthcare, and I find that the students' feedback is very positive about that. And then most recently, I decided I was going to teach epidemiology in a different way, and I've been getting a lot of positive responses. And I think you would find that the faculty in this program are very responsive to student feedback, and that we innovate in ways that help the students. I just think in terms of those items, we are a very high quality group of people who try to reach our students in whatever way they need to be reached. I just really can't say enough about that.
Thank you. Does anyone else have a question at this time? We've got about 3 minutes left. I'll turn it back over to Christy and let her talk a bit about the cost of the program. One thing I would like to add are transfer credits. We work with you to transfer as many credits as that you possibly can based on your past. So we work on that on a one-on-one basis to make sure that you get all of the credit from your previous college coursework so that you don't come in with having to complete tons of other courses that are not in the major. So
yeah, Sherry, you and your faculty do a great job of evaluating those transfer credits and helping students maximize time and past experience to finish their undergraduate degree. So we're very appreciative of all that you do for our students. Just talking very briefly about the admissions process, we do have 3 starts a year. The program starts typically every fall, spring, and summer. And we do have both face-to-face and 100% online instruction. For face-to-face, you could attend campus 1 night a week, 1 course of study at a time in Knoxville, or the Tri-Cities, or again, 100% online. To receive more information, I've shared with everyone my email address, which is in your chat box window. Or you can, if you don't have pen and paper, you can just email admissions@king.edu. The cost for the program hour, or program rather, is $290 per semester hour for face-to-face students and $305 per credit hour for online. Any online instruction also has a $100 per course technology fee, and so that's something to be mindful of. I'm happy to share more information about books, rotation of classes, and kind of what that would look like as a new student. I do know that several of our guests today are either seeking more information or they are pursuing this degree in the near future, so either summer or fall. So that's exciting that we've been able to share important information with new students today. I know for the sake of everyone's time, we've reached the end of our session today, but I do encourage everyone just to keep in touch with us. Our colleagues have shared their emails and Dr. McCray, her phone number. So anything at all that we can do to help you make your decision on where you invest your resources and continue your education, we would love to have you at King University. So Sherry, thank you very much for being with us today, and your colleagues as well.
Yes, thank you everyone. And it is a pleasure to have this many potential students here. It's not too late to enroll for summer. So if you are interested in starting in the very near future, just let Christy know and we will work through that process with you.
Yes. Thank you all so much. And I will send out the recording to everyone so you can share it with your family and friends. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.